This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 8th day of February in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The ExxonMobil company today confirmed that it is continuing its flaring exercise above the permitted level. The company's president and production manager both expressed their regrets and concern about the high level of flaring. Exxon has indicated that it was forced to increase its flaring level when a compressor on the Liza 1 Destiny production vessel got damaged just over a week ago. The company is currently flaring at 1 million cubic feet above the permitted level. The damaged compressor has been sent to Germany for repairs, but the company decreased its daily oil production while increasing in its flaring, which has left many environmentalists worried about the impact. Exxon Guyana President Alistair Rutledge.
So I can assure you, we take this incredibly seriously. I mean, Mike and I and the rest of the team, we're working at 24/7. We wake up thinking about it and we go to bed worrying about it. How do we get it fixed as quickly as possible? We don't want to be in this position. No doubt you feel it's taken us a while to get to you on some of these questions too, but I do want to assure you that what we've been working through in the last few days since the compressor failed is making sure that we had the facts, at least what we could gather initially before we can get the equipment to a proper workshop to do the full inspection.
Exxon was producing 130,000 barrels of oil per day when the compressor problem occurred, forcing the company to reduce its daily production to 120,000 barrels of oil per day. The production manager at Exxon, Mike Ryan, said the company is looking to reduce flaring to zero.
On the flash gas compressor itself, this is a picture of the third stage and the second stage together. The manufacturer of the flash gas compressor is MAN Turbo. MAN Turbo are a leader in this area of dry screw compressors. It's a technology that they've developed in the past. This particular machine on Destiny is specifically designed for Liza Destiny for the gas composition and the pressures that we have. You can see those two machines. As I say, it's a dry screw compressor. The top picture is the second stage. It's a larger one. The bottom picture, or the bottom machine, is the third stage.
The Exxon company has been engaging the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environmental Protection Agency on the issue. More news coming up in just a moment.
How you could get yarning on today's pension day?
I collect my pension and went to the market since the 23rd.
How you mean?
I tell you, Levy switched to lodgement. Since me last book finished, I switched.
You joined up a lodge, was this lodgement?
The NIS lodgement system allows pensioners to get their pension into their bank account. The money is paid into the account by the 23rd of the month, so you could withdraw it whenever you like.
So wait, I ain't got to join no long line. Why you ain't tell me before?
Told you, please. When you go to submit your life certificate, ask them for the allotment application form. When you complete it and the bank verify it, then NIS is going to process it. After they process it, your money will be in your account.
Well, all right, I join them now.
And don't forget, when you're carrying your life certificate, ask them for the lodgement application form.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
Dare to slay. Are you prepared to represent all Guyanese women on the Miss World stage? Entrepreneurs, social media influencers, beauties with degrees, athletes, humanitarians, and performing artists, top models with charisma, And oh yes, if you so please, friends or frenemies who are as real as can be. Dare to slay, then apply without fear, making 2021 your boldest, bravest year. Win a car, $500,000 in cash, and loads of other prizes fitting for a queen. It's Miss World time. Are you ready to slay? Victoria Regia Season 1 begins. Apply today. www.missworldguyana.com.
This is Annie Bina. She's a clothing designer. She also likes to hang out with her friends. However, a life-changing event is about to occur. The mosquito that bit Annie Bina is infected with a tiny worm that causes lymphatic filariasis, also known as Filaria. But what is Filaria? Filaria is a disease that affects a person's lymphatic system, causing legs, arms, breasts, or scrotum to swell and eventually remain in a swollen state that cannot go back to normal. Filaria shows no symptoms during the early years. Untreatable chronic symptoms can appear as late as 20 years after infection. Since there are no symptoms in the beginning, most infected persons do not know they're infected, like Annie Bina. When the symptoms begin to appear, nothing will be able to make them disappear. Are you sure that you've not been infected like Annie Bina? What can you do then since you see no symptoms? Take your pills. Prevention is the best cure. A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
This is Annie Bina. She's a clothing designer. She also likes to hang out with her friends. However, a life-changing event is about to occur. The mosquito that bit Annie Bina is infected with a tiny worm that causes lymphatic filariasis, also known as Filaria. But what is Filaria? Filaria is a disease that affects a person's lymphatic system, causing legs, arms, breasts, or scrotum to swell and eventually remain in a swollen state that cannot go back to normal. Filaria shows no symptoms during the early years. Untreatable chronic symptoms can appear as late as 20 years after infection. Since there are no symptoms in the beginning, most infected persons do not know they're infected, like Annie Bina. When the symptoms begin to appear, nothing will be able to make them disappear. Are you sure that you've not been infected like Annie Bina? What can you do then since you see no symptoms? Take your pills. Prevention is the best cure. A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95.
Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc. The government has made a decision to shut the doors of the Bertram Collins Public Service Training College, laying off 24 permanent staff members in the process. On Friday, the staff members received their letters of termination, and many of them were blindsided by the decision. Their termination takes effect from the end of this month. An official at the college confirmed the closure and said the last batch of students received their certificates back in December, and the college was barred from accepting new students. The Public Service College opened its doors in 2016 under the APNU-AFC government as an initiative of the then President David Granger. Its aim was to train young professionals desirous of starting a career in the modern public service. Since 2016, a total of 175 students were trained by the college and have all been placed in the public service to start their careers. The college came under the Public Service Ministry, and the ministry was responsible for the placement of the graduates. It offered various courses that are linked to work in the public service, including budget and financing, customer service, leadership for public servants, legal systems, international relations, and information technology. As students are preparing for the 2021 CXC examinations, the regional examination body is still to complete its review process of last year's results. In a statement over the weekend, the Ministry of Education revealed that it cannot make an official release or determination of the top performers until the review process is completed. The Education Ministry reminded that almost as soon as the results were announced last year, there was mass complaints, and the ministry started to work with CXC to have the students' queries addressed and answered. Since then, the Ministry of Education said, through the Examinations Department, it has been continuously demanding a timely and expeditious end to the process. Other Caribbean territories have been making the same demand. With the review process ongoing, many of the review requests made by students have resulted in changes to their grades. CXC has not yet released its timetable for this year's examinations. The total number of coronavirus cases recorded in Guyana since the first case was found here last March has jumped to more than 8,000, as 41 new cases were recorded as of midnight Sunday. The Ministry of Health also revealed today that the country's death toll climbed to 181, with the passing of a 74-year-old man from Region 4. Guyana currently has 858 active cases of COVID-19. More than 500 of those active cases are in Region 4. In his COVID-19 update today, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the village of Warramadang in Region 7 is currently on its radar, as the small indigenous village has more than 70 active cases of the virus.
Warramadang remain a place of interest for us, and over the weekend we did additional testing there, and unfortunately we have a number of additional cases. So we have a doctor on site that has been working with the community. We had sent in another medical team from Georgetown to assist. That team initially assisted in Warramadang, but then moved on to the other villages in the Upper Mazaruni. So in the light of seeing some new cases over the weekend, we are going to bring back that team into Warramadang and probably see what additional measures we can put in place.
In his COVID-19 update today, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the village of Warramadang in Region 7 is currently on his ministry's radar, as the small indigenous village has more than 70 active cases of the virus.
It's an active discussion. We'll have to, lockdown would mean that you have to restrict everything going in and out of the village and so forth. And whether that's logistically possible is something we have to discuss with the village leadership. So we'll have that discussion. In fact, some of those types of discussions have been initiated, but there's no conclusions yet.
The health minister said while no decision has been taken to impose a lockdown on the village, the ministry is monitoring the situation. A doctor has since been posted in the community, and additional contact tracing and testing are to be carried out in the coming days. The Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, GTT, today announced that it has raised $10 million in funds through its virtual Pinktober 2020 events. In making the announcement, the Pinktober coordinator Diana Gittin said she was thrilled that the company, with the input from Guyanese, was able to meet its targeted fundraising despite the coronavirus pandemic. She said GTT will continue the fight against cancer through fundraising to support cancer care and by being the champion of cancer awareness in Guyana. GTT's 2020 Pinktober outreach consisted of a series of virtual and interactive activities, including Fit and Pink Friday, a newly added TikTok challenge, Pink Fridays, and a dedicated mental health day, in addition to the annual sales of Pinktober branded items. All proceeds raised go 100% into cancer care and treatment to the benefit of patients across the country, the company said. A second suspect in the murder of Kitty resident Peter Gonzalez was charged today with the man's murder. Appearing in court today was 25-year-old Daniel Paris. He was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge and was immediately remanded to jail. The court was told that on the 7th of December, while in the company of Casey Heliga, Paris murdered 60-year-old Peter Gonzalez on Garnet Street in Kitty. Heliga was earlier charged for the same murder. The two men are accused of ambushing the elderly man as he rode his motorcycle along Garnet Street. He was attacked and shot multiple times before the two escaped with the motorcycle. The two accused are known to the police and have faced other serious charges in the courts, including robbery on the arm. A 28-year-old gold miner who got trapped in a mining pit cave-in but was luckily pulled out by other miners remained in hospital this evening. The latest mining accident occurred on Friday at the Iana Back Dam, Northwest District. A police report of the matter indicated that the miner, Terrence Anthony, was operating a land dredge when the mining pit suddenly collapsed, covering him. Quick action by his workmates saw him being pulled from under the mud and rushed to the Mabaruma Hospital. Doctors there have described his condition as stable but serious. The action by his colleagues saved his life. The police and the Guyana Geologian Mines Commission are conducting an investigation of the incident.
This is Annie Bina. She's a clothing designer. She also likes to hang out with her friends. However, a life-changing event is about to occur. The mosquito that bit Annie Bina is infected with a tiny worm that causes lymphatic filariasis, also known as Filaria. But what is Filaria? Filaria is a disease that affects a person's lymphatic system, causing legs, arms, breasts, or scrotum to swell and eventually remain in a swollen state that cannot go back to normal. Filaria shows no symptoms during the early years. Untreatable chronic symptoms can appear as late as 20 years after infection. Since there are no symptoms in the beginning, most infected persons do not know they're infected, like Annie Bina. When the symptoms begin to appear, nothing will be able to make them disappear. Are you sure that you've not been infected like Annie Bina? What can you do then, since you see no symptoms? Take your pills. Prevention is the best cure. A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS Freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by World Guyana Inc.
This is Annie Bina. She's a clothing designer. She also likes to hang out with her friends. However, a life-changing event is about to occur. The mosquito that bit Annie Bina is infected with a tiny worm that causes lymphatic filariasis, also known as Filaria. But what is Filaria? Filaria is a disease that affects a person's lymphatic system, causing legs, arms, breast, or scrotum to swell and eventually remain in a swollen state that cannot go back to normal. Filaria shows no symptoms during the early years. Untreatable chronic symptoms can appear as late as 20 years after infection. Since there are no symptoms in the beginning, most infected persons do not know they're infected, like Annie Bina. When the symptoms begin to appear, nothing will be able to make them disappear. Are you sure that you've not been infected like Annie Bina? What can you do then, since you see no symptoms? Take your pills. Prevention is the best cure. A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Across the region, the president of Haiti says an attempt to kill him and overthrow the government has been foiled amid a dispute over when his term ends. At least 23 persons were arrested, including a top judge and a senior police officer, the authorities have confirmed. President Jovenel Moïse insists that his term in office ends in February of next year, but opponents say it finished on Sunday. Protesters took to the streets of the capital Port-au-Prince and other towns over his refusal to step down. There were clashes with police who responded with tear gas. Security officials said there had been an attempted coup, and cash and weapons including assault rifles, machine guns, and machetes were seized as the arrests were made. Haiti's political crisis comes down to 2 different interpretations of the constitution and the length of the president's current term. Opponents of President Moïse say it ends now, after a volatile period in office following a disputed vote in 2016. Mr. Moïse disagrees, arguing that he has 1 year left of his term and has no intention of stepping down before that date. Panama has sought to acquire more than 8 million coronavirus vaccine doses to inoculate about 80% of its population. That's according to the country's health minister. Panama has a population of about 4.2 million people, but most coronavirus vaccines require 2 shots spaced several weeks apart. Panama has requested about 1 million doses from the COVID-19 vaccine portfolio under the COVAX facility, which is coordinated by the World Health Organization to support lower-income countries. Panama will acquire a further 3 million doses from U.S. pharmaceutical firm Pfizer Inc. and the same amount from Russia, which has developed the Sputnik V vaccine. Panama also aims to acquire 1.1 million doses manufactured by AstraZeneca and 300,000 shots produced by Johnson & Johnson. And finally tonight, international news. The Netherlands is suspending all adoptions from abroad with immediate effect after an official inquiry found many abuses. The investigation focused on the adoption of children from Bangladesh, Brazil, Colombia, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka between the years 1967 and 1998. The Minister for Local Protection said Dutch governments had failed for years to intervene. The abuses included coercing or paying birth mothers to give up their children. The investigative committee found that Dutch government officials were aware of wrongdoing and that some were involved in abuses, though it did not find evidence of bribery. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Have a safe night.